fantastic day to be alive. That's what I'm just saying that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, by show of hands, and I cleared this by the mom of the little boy over here.
Yes, he's not going to look or listen
He's
to
not gonna
any of the
listen to
bad
any of
words
this.
or anything bad.
Anyways,
I'm
by
going to
show of hands, who has had an orgasm today? Anyone? Oh, yes! High five! And then I'm going to raise my hand.
I'm so happy.
Yes!
A lot of people are lying.
I know a lot of people are
I
lying.
sure it's only like 1 p.m. that went out.
24-hour.
I've been working all day.
There's no excuse for it.
So, basically, orgasms are awesome. And they're pretty much what life is run on. But my point about orgasms is they're literally the fix for everything. Like, I'm bored. And then I'm a little anxious. And then I'm super horny. Right? So it really solves everything, including, I would argue, war. Okay? Now hear me out. Hear me out. I got a plan for all of this. Alright, so picture this. Everyone knew that sexual expression was the key to their liberation, and they acted as such. And pleasure was their birthright. And everybody was in post-coitus bliss. Do you think we would give two shits whose dick was bigger? Or, bomb was bigger? No, we would have no wars. Or in the alternative, I would argue that we start a campaign, the No More Pussy campaign, okay? We get women to close their legs just enough to stop the wars, right? And then we open the moratorium, and I say, when I run for president, I'm running on a campaign of Love America, Fuck Again. Right? Thank you. After Trump resolution. So, right. I'm sorry, I just wrote this today.
That's impressive. Amazing.
So yes, the orgasm is a powerful force, but here's the fun fact. You know who taught me this shit? Jesus himself, motherfuckers. Jesus himself. And I'm not talking a book. I'm talking, I fucking died from a seizure for almost 7 minutes in 2012. And I went outside of my body and met the motherfucker in person. And I'm gonna tell you something else. That fucker is hot as shit. I mean, that olive skin, that chiseled jaw, those inexplicably, culturally impossible crystal blue eyes. Yeah, that Jesus is hot, man. So, unfortunately, I was having all these naughty thoughts about Jesus, and then I forgot that fucker can read minds. Awkward. So, so basically, during this near-death experience, or I call it a death experience because I died, Jesus is telling me truths about the universe, about the purpose, the meaning of life, and really what he did tell me is how they really fucked up his story, his life story. They took it and they made it their own, right? So I'm going to tell you some things, and it might just blow your mind. So buckle up. All right, so everybody's heard of Mary Magdalene in the Bible, right? Mary Magdalene?
Yeah.
Our favorite feet-washing prostitute?
Yeah.
That Mary, yeah. Turns out, that little slut was not just a prostitute, or wasn't a prostitute. She was in fact Jesus' main bitch.
She was his friend.
She was his lover.
Yes, I know.
Friends with benefits?
She was his lover.
Yes.
His friend.
They were lovers, and they weren't just like the typical lovers. They were practice sex magic together, where you harness your sexual energy to like manifest anything you want, heal, walk on water, type of things, right? So,
Wow.
Yeah.
You're talking some shit now.
so Jesus fucked, y'all, and not just fucked, they like moved worlds with their sex. And you know what Jesus said? That was really good. So I don't know. I just kind of picture this like scenario. Because another thing that Jesus told me was that Mary wasn't just his groupie. She was actually a master teacher just like him. And they would teach on separate mountaintops, y'all, to crowds of their own people. So I kind of picture Jesus like being a little fucker, like being on his own mountaintop, like healing his like, friends who can't walk and stuff. And then he looks over at Mary, and she's got, throngs of people to heal. And he's like, I think I'm gonna fuck with her. So I picture like this little boy and his family comes up, and Mary's like, what can I do for you, son? And he's like, I'm blind, I have cancer, and I have a tail. And she's like, well, let me bless you, son. And then she starts, and she's like, no, son, I want you to see yourself with full vision, seeing the world around. And then she looks over at Jesus, and she's like, and he's got this smile on his face. He's like, boom, bitch. I just gave you an orgasm with my mind. So she goes back and she's like, okay now, child, I want you to imagine yourself free of cancer. Oh, yeah. Oh, Dad. Yes. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. Where was it? Yeah, back to the healing. And anyways, then she looks over at Jesus and she's like, cut it the fuck off, Jesus. You gotta stop.
I'm working here.
So she goes back and she's like, and now, son, we will remove your tail forevermore. But first, I want you to know that in order for miracles to exist, we must and then she looks up, and then she looks over, and she opens her eyes, and she's like, okay, wait, what the fuck are you guys still doing here? Like, show's over, let's go. And she's like, all right. So, let's see. Do you know that one? All right. So, another thing that Jesus taught me was about the original whores. And where did they come from? So, Jesus actually comes from a long lineage of sacred whores. And that includes his mother Mary. Yeah, that bitch practiced sex magic. And that little slut told us she was a virgin. Liar. Thank you. Thank you, liar. So, I'm reading a book called The Sacred Whore Codes, and it's about reclaiming the internal whore, right? And so I've done a lot of research. Did you guys know that the original whore was considered divinity and divine, and temples were built for her, and she was worshipped for her sexuality and her sensuality. Basically, having sex with her was said to be like meeting God. Now, what I would give for that to be like on my reviews for my Yelp sex profile, like 5 stars. Having sex with Alicia was like getting it from God, or getting a blowjob from God was like having the mouths of God around me. That would be awesome. Alright, so really the last story that I want to share is me thinking about all the other hilarious stories in the Bible, right? And I always crack the fuck up with the turning wine into water story. And it's not the turning wine into water story, it's the dynamics between Jesus and his fucking mother, right? Alright, hold on, I'm gonna get something.
I love props.
Props. Alright, so I don't know if you guys know the story of Jesus turning water into wine, but picture this. Jesus at a wedding of some rich dude's daughter. He doesn't really know her, but he got invited. He's there with his disciples and his mother Mary. Everybody's eating trash. Like the wine is disappearing faster than they can bring it out. So everybody's smashed, right? And Jesus takes a break and he goes back to the drink table and fill up his wine glass. And he's just chuckling because the 12 disciples are out there in full drag doing the YMCA. So he's just hanging out. And then all of a sudden, out of the shadows, comes Mother Mary. And she's like, psst, psst, Jesus, hey Jesus. You know what's cool? And Peter John, he's like, what the fuck are you doing? How'd you get here? What are you doing? And she's like, oh, psst, Jesus, do you know what's cool? How you can do magic and miracles, man. That's so fucking cool. And he's like, yeah, bitch, we all know. It is cool. What do you want? And she's like, you know what's not cool? We're running out of wine, Jesus. What you gonna do about it? And then literally, John 2:4, I'll quote it. Jesus responds, woman, what does this shit have to do with me? It's not my time yet. So he's basically like, shut up. Why is this my problem? I'm busy. And then she just like ignores him completely, turns to the servants, which I love that word, and says, do whatever he says. Basically, shut the fuck up, Jesus, you're gonna do it, now do what he says. And I just kind of picture Mary, like, to Jesus. Jesus, the wine's almost out. What are we gonna do? You know what happens to mommy when she runs out of her wine? You don't want that to happen tonight, do we, Jesus? He's like, fuck, we do not want that to happen. Anyways, so. You know what Jesus taught me, and I'll be real for a second, is that pleasure and ecstasy is my birthright, and sex can be an act of worship. So basically, Jesus himself sanctified my pussy and named me his dirty little whore. So I say, fuck them, fuck me, fuck you too.
Yeah! Woo!
And yes, let America fuck again. Alright, that's it, thank you.
What up, brother? Good to see you.